Greetings, I'm Dr. Pearl John and welcome to the Other 167. We've been doing this mini series this month of December, and week 1 we talked about ignition, the revelation of God, who Jesus truly is. Week 2 we spoke of preparation, making room for Him. And week 3 we spoke of consecration, letting Him transform us. And today we speak of incarnation, why He came and what it means today. This week really focuses on the glory of God entering human dust, the astonishing humility of Christ, and the transformative hope that the incarnation brings to every believer. So incarnation, when heaven steps into humanity. Every religion speaks of humanity reaching for God, but Christianity speaks of God reaching for humanity. Not from a palace, but from a manger. Not with angels holding flaming swords, but with a newborn wrapped in swaddling clothes. The incarnation is the heart of Christmas. God becomes man, fully God, fully human, to redeem us. The Nicene Creed declares with force and beauty, for us and for our salvation, He came down from heaven and was made man. The incarnation is not a seasonal story. It is the center of our salvation. Let's explore this mystery in 3 movements. 1. Heaven bent down and God enters our world. The incarnation reveals the humility and initiative of God. John 1:14 says, the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. And Philippians 2:6 and 7, He emptied Himself, taking the form of a servant. And Hebrews 2:17, He was made like us in every way. God didn't shout salvation from the heavens. He stepped into our skin. He took on our hunger, our fatigue, our emotions, our pain. He embraced every human limitation except sin. A CEO once told me, people follow leaders who come down from their offices, not those who shout from their offices. In the incarnation, God does not call us from a distance. He climbs down into our world, into our chaos, into our failures, into our questions, our loneliness and fears. These are 3 truths of heaven bending down. God does not save from afar. He enters your reality. He is not intimidated by your humanity. He assumed it. There is no place so dark that Christ cannot step in. The incarnation is God saying, I will not let distance be the barrier anymore. Secondly, the God who understands. Jesus enters our pain. The incarnation makes Christ the perfect sympathizer and high priest. Hebrews 4:15 says, we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize. Isaiah 53:3 says, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And Matthew 1:23, Emmanuel, God with us. Jesus did not come as an idea. He came as Emmanuel, the God who understands. Beloved, He understands you. He understands your grief, your betrayals, your exhaustions, your rejections, your injustice, your temptations, your loneliness, your physical suffering. He understands them all. A young woman once said, through tears, I'm so thankful God doesn't just forgive my pain. He understands it. You know why? Because He felt it. He knows what it means to pray in agony. He knows what it means to weep. He knows what it means when friends disappear. He knows what it means to carry shame, not His own, but ours. These are three truths. The God who understands. I'd like you to take back. 1, Christ's empathy is not theoretical, it is experiential. 2, your pain is not foreign to God, it is familiar to Him. 3, your suffering is not endured alone, He stands with you. This is why the Incarnation is not a Christmas postcard, it is a medicine for the human soul. And 3, He became like us so we could become like Him. The Incarnation leads to transformation and adoption. Galatians 4:4-6, God sent His Son that we might receive adoption. In 2 Corinthians 3:18, we are being transformed into His image. And Hebrews 2:14, since the children share flesh and blood, He too shared in their humanity. Jesus did not become human only to understand us. He became human to restore us. The Incarnation is not sentiment, it is salvation. Not a cradle to admire, a cradle pointing to a cross. In a mentoring session, a senior once said, transformation happens when someone steps into your life and pulls you upward with them. This is what Christ has done. He steps into our humanity to pull us into His divinity, not to make us gods, but to make us children of God. Now here are the three truths, the purpose of His coming. 1, He became what we are, so we could become what we were created to be. 2, the Incarnation is God's pathway to our restoration. And 3, adoption is the ultimate gift wrapped in the manger. Christ comes down so we may rise with Him. And let me pull this to a closure. The God who moved into our neighborhood. In John 1:14, the Message version says, the Word became flesh and moved into the neighborhood. This is the heartbeat of week 4. God with us. God for us. God in us. And God working through us. The Incarnation is God's declaration. I will not abandon humanity. I will redeem it. This Christmas, allow the truth of the Incarnation to settle so deep in the intricate parts of your being. Jesus came not to condemn you, but to carry you. Not to observe your pain, but to enter it. Not to shame your humanity, but to sanctify it. Not to leave you where you are, but to lift you into His life. Let this prayer rise in your heart. Lord Jesus, thank you for stepping into my world. Live in me, walk with me, heal me, shape me into your likeness. In the cradle, we see His humility. In His life, we see His empathy. In His death, we see His love. In His resurrection, we see our future. But in His Incarnation, we see God's heart. Revelation, preparation, consecration, Incarnation. And next week, we will talk about the mission of God. This is Pearl John signing off The Other 167. Thank you for watching The Other 167. We continue next week. Until then, have a wonderful week ahead. God bless.